This railcar, number 22, was built in 1940 and is one of 38 railcars. There's only 3 of them surviving into preservation, and they use a very similar engine to a bus diesel. This one is number 22, number 4, the more streamlined one, is in preservation, and also number 20, and that's their lot. Some of the wiper details. Well, something's interesting happened. I've turned up here at Didcot on a day when number 22 isn't running, unfortunately. Now, I thought on the web it said it was. I don't know, perhaps I misread it. Anyhow, it means it's sitting here in the engine shed. I have asked though someone if I could have a little look around it, so this may give me a different sort of opportunity today. So let's see what happens. Here we are, getting into number 22. So have you refurbished it here at Didcot?
Yeah, it's been put back to its as near as we can get it to its 1940s.
How easy is it to drive? Is it relatively straightforward?
Once you've got used to it, yeah. Getting the right sequence. The trouble is, very often when you're actually driving it, it becomes second nature. And then when somebody says, "Oh, what does that do?" and then you try and think of the sequence, that's when it all goes wrong.
So here I am, Laurie, in cab with Mick, and he's the usual driver for number 22. He's going to quickly run through some of the controls for us. Okay.
Right, so over here we got what's called the ATC, the automatic train controls, not used any longer, but that's what the Great Western used to prevent them going through red lights. Yeah. That's the handbrake, obviously applied when stationary.
Yeah. The
power brake, if you like, if you want to call it that, the vacuum brake. This is the main controller that you'll use when it's operating.
The one you normally use.
The one you normally use. So that's in the off position, that's in the on.
To brake, and then
we've got the lap and the run. Okay. I won't bore you with the difference in between those. But
that's fine.
Here we've got the engine start for both sides. Yeah. Rev counter, which also acts as a speedometer, but only when you're in top gear. Oh, okay. Air pressure. Yeah. The controller for the windscreen wipers. Yeah. The stop button for the engines. Yeah. The horn control, either air or vacuum or electric, depending which side you want to go on. Yeah. Sanders, so that if it's wet, it's slipping. Push the button, it puts sand down on the track.
Ah, that's clever.
And the vacuum gauge for the brakes,
which was normally 25 for
which is
GWR.
normally 25 for GWR.
Okay, so this is the gears.
This is the selector for the gears. So you have the controlling key goes in to unlock everything. Yeah. And you've got 5 gears, and you pre-select. So that means to say that you select the next gear you want to go in before you operate the clutch to put you into gear. And this is the clutch that will change the gear. So effectively, if we're in 3rd gear, we want to go to 4th, we pre-select 4th, and then when we want to change, we pull the lever across and release it. Okay. The lever below it is to change the gearing for when we're changing ends. So if we're going towards London, as we're facing at the moment, and we want to go back towards Oxford, we have to operate this lever to tell the gearing that we're going to go back the other way.
Forward and reverse.
Forward and reverse.
Yeah, cool.
And then this is the throttle. So as you push it down, you increase the revs.
So you don't call that a regulator, it's a throttle.
It's a throttle. The other thing about the throttle and the clutch is that you don't need to release the throttle to change the gears. Unlike a car, where you will come off the accelerator and then change gear by depressing the clutch. Here you keep the throttle down, and when you operate the clutch, it automatically shuts the throttle off.
Oh, okay.
And then above us we have the lamp code switches. So
Yeah.
if you're familiar with steam locomotives, where you've got the locomotive ramps that tell you the class of train, we've got them on electric.
So if this was an express passenger, you told me I could do that one,
That one
and that one. Yeah.
And that would light the lights.
Not that it would be an
Not
express
at the
passenger.
moment, but we also have
Yeah.
in here, we've got a safeguard. These things occasionally used to catch fire.
Oh.
Because obviously you've got a battery pack in there to start the engines.
Yeah.
So what we've done is to fit a master switch.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we're operating the master switch, cuts all the power off, and hopefully prevents it from going up.
Okay, thanks Mick, that's really
all right.
good, thank you.
So that detects the engine number. So there's your number 2.
Oh, right.
So when we were saying about in the cab.
So we've got 2 engines, and this is number 2 engine. Yeah. Looks like a Rolls Royce Merlin or something. There's a 9.6.
Well, it makes a nice noise anyway. So this is your
So this is the, what was it,
epicyclic
cyclic.
gearbox.
Okay. That's the
So
gear.
you've got, so you've got shafts running, carbon shafts running to drive.
Yeah, wow.
And then that drives. This is in neutral, but when we want to operate it, by this lever going in here, we can lock the dog wheel in here into whichever direction we're going in at the start of the day. You know when I was saying you pull that lever and it throws the end? Well, what it does is you've got a piston in there and you've got air on either side, and what it's doing, it's throwing the piston backwards and forwards. But it can only do that once you've got air pressure up. So at the beginning of the day, you have to manually set it.
Right, that's that forward and reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's in use for a minute, so people can pull it around the yard.
Yeah.
So that 9.6 litre engine would deliver 105 horsepower, and with the lower gearing of this unit, it would do about 40 mile an hour. So thanks, Mick, for showing me around.
That's
Really
right, you're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Yeah.
You're very welcome.